Angelo, you had the scoring flurry to start the game, not the first one that you've had in this postseason, especially in this building. Just wondered how you're starting to figure out the spots on the floor, like next to LeBron AD, and how that's starting to flow as, still you haven't played a ton of games together at this point.
Man, just trying to be in a position to take advantage of, like you said, how they're guarding us. They got some of their best defenders guarding Bron, another defender guarding AD. A lot of teams' best two defenders are guarding those guys. So for me to be able to take advantage of it on the backside and create things and be aggressive for myself as well just kind of opens the game up.
You guys have questions for D'Lo, please raise your hand. Melissa?
Hey, D'Lo. You've talked a lot about how you've matured since the first stint with the Lakers till now. How good does it feel to be out there game after game, having these flurries really affecting the game night after night?
It's good. It's good just knowing that I'm prepared for whatever's next. I feel like I was prepared for this situation, prepared for this opportunity now, prepared myself mentally, physically to have success under these circumstances too. Obviously getting traded and things like that. You got to readjust your focus. And like I said, going through what I've been through in my short time as a pro prepared me for almost everything. So just being prepared, getting my mentality shifted to the right place, and then attacking it from there. I've had some success, so might not change that up.
Jim?
With LeBron not scoring hardly at all in the first period, did you take it upon yourself to say, I'm gonna take that role right now? Is this what you were just referring to?
Bron's a guy that could dominate the game from so many different, aspects. Obviously, a regular fan will recognize scoring, dunking, things that are loud like that, but he still affect the game with passing, with defense, with communication, all those little things that you don't really see on the stat sheet. He still led us, in a way that you might not see. So for me, it was just scoring tonight. Next night it might be passing. So just taking advantage of what they're allowing us to have.
Kurt?
D'Lo, such a unique flow to the game. A, the way you started. B, all of a sudden they're up 40-29, and then you guys go 13-0. How do you describe kind of the flow that got you guys going?
We locked in, honestly. I think we just got stops, and it allowed us to kind of creep back, a few and-ones, a few threes, a few offensive rebounds leading to easy layups. Got stops, got out in transition, things like that we probably weren't getting earlier throughout the game. And like I said, once we get off to a good start, I like our chances.
Hi, over here to your right. I know every playoff game is kind of its own entity, its own story, but is there anything that you personally or you as a team can take out of this that you think will help you in Game 4, excuse me?
Obviously, they're going to adjust, and we got to figure out how we're going to adjust to that and try to prepare for what they're going to adjust for. Obviously, I don't want to speak too much on what our game plan is, but the game at its purest form is simple, and that's what we see right now. We're in a position to where if they take A away, you got to go with B. If they take B away, you got to go with C, and it'll be right there, for you to take advantage of it. So we'll check the film and go from there.
D'Lo, to you, right? You got here from a Minnesota team defensively that was really aggressive. I remember in the playoffs, y'all played an aggressive style. Y'all forced a lot of turns, but y'all fouled a lot. What's it like going from a defense like that to the defense that you play on now where, tonight y'all forced turns, but that's not always how y'all play. Y'all emphasize making sure you defend without fouling.
When I was there in Minnesota, we were versatile, but it was kind of a set program on what we were going to do defensively with the bigs that we had. AD brings a different dynamic to the team to where you can be a little more versatile on the defensive end. And I think that's what it is. When he controls the game like he does, he makes everything easier for everybody else. Gives a guy like me confidence to be aggressive on the ball and around the perimeter, knowing that I have that anchor down there to kind of save the day. I just think it's just a shift in mentality. Obviously, the personnel goes into play. So just recognizing and going with it.
Only been through so many games together because half your roster was kind of added this team in January and February. As you go through these challenges, like dropping a game by a wide margin and then respond to it with a big win, how do you see that growth playing out in your locker room?
Well, every day is a learning experience for our club. Like you said, we're relatively new to each other, so every time we get an opportunity to come together, either through a practice or a bus ride or a trip or a game, it's another opportunity for us to continue to learn each other, continue to get better, and continue to build our chemistry. And today was another example of that.
LeBron, by not shooting in the first quarter, was this another case of you just letting the game come to you and let it build along the way?
Well, obviously, you see the way D'Lo started the game. I think he had our first 11, and then AD chipped in, I believe, 7 in that quarter. So it allowed me to, kind of focus on the glass. Also had a few assists in that first quarter. It wasn't how the game was playing, but that's just how the game was going. And for me, I'm never a force guy. I've always been a guy, let the game come to me and make my imprint when needed.
LeBron, were you surprised at how you dominated this team, this particular game at home?
I don't want to say we dominated them. I think we played the game the right way. And one thing we were not very good at in game 2, we weren't very forceful at the rim. We allowed their pressure to get us on our heels in game 2, and we're very good when we're getting the paint. That's just who we are. We do have the ability to shoot the outside shot, but we're a paint team first, and then we spray out for threes or for the perimeter. And I think tonight we just played more Laker basketball and try to control it that way.
Law.
Ron, to your right, you got to the line and you hadn't scored yet, and y'all were down 7. And at that point, after you made your first couple free throws, the game switched. Like, that was the middle of a 22-point turnaround. How did getting to the line tonight and really getting to the line all season, how does that spur success for the Lakers right now?
Well, I think for our ball club or for any, if you talk about guys in the league that have the ability to score and score in bulk, the best thing for them to do is see the ball just to go through the rim. And, they call free throws for a reason, so you want to try to go up there and make them. They're free. And, for me, I saw those 2 go down, and I believe I'll follow that up with a transition spin move on Draymond with a float over the top. And then we was able to get a stop. I was able to hit a 3 across from their bench, and then we just started going. And we went from, like you said, down 7, I believe, at one point to having an 11-point lead at halftime. So just try to feed off the fans, feed off our ability to defend, and just put the pressure on them.
Vince.
LeBron, D'Lo was in here a couple of minutes ago, and he said that when the trade was made, all the trades that happened at the deadline, he thought there was potential, but he thought it would take a little longer period of time, especially with the injuries. Are you surprised that it has gelled so quick? I think you guys haven't lost a home game since late March.
Well, obviously, like you said, we had a lot of injuries, and myself, I was out for a few weeks. When we was able to make the trade, I think we played when D'Lo and them guys got here, I think I played 3 games with them. We had some success, but then I went out with an injury in Dallas, and was on the shelf for 4 weeks. But one thing I noticed that how the team just clicked in my absence. So I knew right away once I came back I could fit in and we can play some good basketball. I knew that. I knew guys were playing for one another. Guys were playing hard. We were sharing the ball, and we was playing the way that we envisioned the Lakers to play. And, it's resulted in us being in the second round of the playoffs up until this point.
Crystal, to your right.
LeBron, congrats on the win. You spoke about the hot start from D'Lo and AD, only one ball in this game. But how did you feel like your defense affected things, especially early on when things were a little tighter?
Well, I said after game 2 that no matter what goes on, we hang our hat on our defense. We're one of the best defensive teams in the league, if not the best. And in order for us to reach our potential, we have to defend at a high level. And there's not one team in this league that tests you on that side more than Golden State. So, it keeps us on alert, throughout 48 minutes. Every possession, 24 seconds on the shot clock, they will make you work throughout that whole possession. So, you have to be alert and to test our defense every single possession going against a team that with so much firepower.
LeBron, obviously, job's not finished, but to keep having significant basketball moments with this city, what does that mean to you right now?
Just try to make memorable moments, that's all. You know, and the postseason is the best time in our league. You know, you have an opportunity to play in the playoffs, something that you never forget about and something that you never take for granted. So, you know, the moments we get to play in front of our fans, you know, we cherish those for the rest of our lives, that's for sure.
Chris?
Bron, this series is every other day. You're playing a game. Narratives get changed and shifted each game. I know you're used to this. How has your team, have you been able to evaluate your team and how they handle, you know, things that are being said outside from day to day?
Well, I think just for the young guys that hasn't been a part of the postseason or haven't, you know, not much experience in the postseason, just stay off the TV and stay off social media. You know, you win a game, everybody's the greatest player in the world. You lose a game, they throwing dirt on you. It's literally that simple. You know, it's all about, you know, training your mind for, you know, the next challenge. You know, what's the next challenge? This game is over with. We played well. Okay, cool. But we got another one on Monday. You know, so, you know, if you got a show to watch, or if it's one of your favorite movies, or if you like listening to music, or if you're reading books, or whatever the case may be, or playing cards with the family, whatever, you know, but you stay off social media. And when you watch the other playoff games, watch it on mute, play some music in the background. That's what I do.
Last three. Melissa?
Hey, Bron, above all else, you're a father. What were the emotions today around seeing Bronny commit to USC?
First of all, congratulations to my son on you know, his next journey and picking a great university in USC. You know, I'm proud of him. This is an incredible thing. I think I told Mike after the game, you know, unless it was like one of my, you know, great grandmothers or great grandfathers or someone that I was way before my time. To my knowledge, this is the first one out of the James gang to go to college. Obviously, his dad didn't go to school. You know, his mom didn't go to college. You know, I think my mom stepped on campus for a little bit. You know, maybe a community college or something, but she had my little ass running around, so she couldn't spend much time in the classroom. 19 years old, she couldn't do that. I was 3. So it's very, 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 very exciting, very humbling, and great moment for our family. You know, it's just super cool. He's a great kid. USC is getting a great kid. Obviously, he's there to play basketball, but you know, they're going to be a super surprised how great of a kid he is, even though they've been recruiting him for quite a while.
It looked like you guys switched some of the matchups around and having Austin with Steph and Vanderbilt off and, you know, kind of getting out of their shooters more. But aside from that, just you being the anchor there, what did you see on that end and how did that end up working, especially in the middle of the game?
Yeah, we just tried to make an adjustment. That's what it's about. Each game is its own entity and making adjustments to try to get the victory. And I think we did a good job of that tonight. You know, switching some of the matchups and tweak the little things of the game plan. And, you know, we go back and watch it tomorrow and try to figure out minor adjustments, minor tweaks that we could probably make for game 4.
Hey, AD, to your right.
Yep.
What's going on?
Hi. Hi, buddy.
Your shirt. Yeah. I know you're locked in and you're focused, and it seems like everyone in this locker room for the Lakers, it's about winning at this point, no matter what happens. But the way your playoffs have gone so far, where your stats spike one game and go lower the next game, have you paid attention or heard any of the talk around it? And if you have, what do you think about that?
I have not. I'm not on social media, so my teammates not talking about it. My circle, inner circle, wasn't talking about it, so I have not. It's great. Somebody just asked me this question in the locker room, and I said, "It's a miss or make league. You know, the same shots I had game 1, I had game 2. I made game 1, I missed game 2. Same shots I had game 2, I had game 3. And I missed game 2 and made game 3. So, you know, I look at it as I just missed shots. I didn't do anything differently. I didn't change anything up. So it is what it is. You know, I go out and try to compete to the best of my ability every night to help the team win. And sometimes it don't work out that way where we win. But I know, especially at this time of the year, I leave it all on the floor, and that's all I can do.
AD, when you think about 3 years ago when you got here and Frank was coaching the defense and how aggressive it was, y'all forced a lot of turnovers, had success with that, with you spearheading that, obviously. Now you're completely different kind of defense as far as the results. Like, y'all don't force a lot of turnovers in general, but y'all also don't send teams to the free throw line, and you've had success from there. What's it like for you being the star defender, if you will, going from one kind of defense and a really aggressive one to now having the lead the way that Darvin wants you to defend?
It's an easy adjustment for me just because I'm defensive minded. You know, we just try not to foul in general, you know, especially playing against a team like this. You know, they're going to make shots. They're going to make some tough shots, and you don't want to, you know, add to that by sending them to the free throw line. But for me, I just try to, you know, anchor the defense, communicate. I think that's what it is. No matter what defensive scheme you have, it's all about communication. And we did that from day one, you know, since the trade happened, just talking, you know, not having much practice time, communicating and trying to figure it out on the fly. You know, but, you know, it all starts with me, you know, on the back line, talking to guys and, you know, voicing my opinion on, you know, what we should do defensively and how we should guard certain guys and things like that. So, it's fun. You know, it's fun switching up defenses and trying to figure out how we can manipulate the game on that end. And it's all about, you know, the 5 guys on the floor and the rest of the guys just buying in.
More questions for AD?
Oh.